Elizabeth May, MP of Sandy Gulf Islands and leader of the Green Party of Canada, who's taken the time to come here and speak today. So let's give her a warm welcome, everyone.
Thank you. I usually don't get really mad at people, but I'm so mad at Justin Trudeau right now. Even my puppy is really mad at Justin Trudeau right now. Because, well, she was too young when he made the promise. She wasn't born yet. In all seriousness, I served, and it was an honor to serve, with 1,100 members of Parliament on the Special Parliamentary Committee on Electoral Reform. That was part of the promise. The promise was clear, and we all know it by heart. 2015, let's say it together, 2015 will be the last election held under first past the post. And why? Because we want to make sure that every vote counts. This was a clear promise, and it included the details of how we would get there. Within 18 months of forming government, Justin Trudeau said, my government will table legislation before Parliament for electoral reform. So everything's going along. We had some delays getting started. We finally got the committee established and working in late June of last year, 2016. We traveled 31,000 kilometers, 12 MPs representing 5 parties. We worked extremely hard, but that's not the point that we worked hard. Canadians believed in the promise and came out by the thousands. In fact, over 20,000 Canadians filled out a very, not particularly user-friendly, but extremely detailed survey that we, all 12 MPs, signed off on, that would actually find out what Canadian voters wanted. This was not the mydemocracy.ca thing that was very fuzzy. What we discovered overwhelmingly was that not just do Canadians who understand our voting system want to get rid of it in favor of a fair voting system. The parliamentary committee that first studied electoral reform in 1921 concluded that first past the post does not work for any democracy that has more than 2 political parties. So our parliamentary committee was the first to say, right, the evidence is overwhelming, we should move to proportional representation. And I want to point out, because I've seen the things with great dismay, in the time since Justin Trudeau broke that promise February 1st, he seems to be determined to grasp at any straw, shamefully grasping at straws that make no sense, such as saying that yesterday he said in Yellowknife, under our current system of first past the post, the 3 big parties, I think by that he meant the real ones, the 3 big parties cooperate. They confer and we get consensus decisions. That's the opposite of what happens. Cooperation, consensus decision-making happens under proportional representation. First past the post divides, leads to hyper-partisanship, exactly the kind of cynical political ploy that Justin Trudeau is shamefully using right now to break his own promise and defend it by appealing to Canadians' better nature. So he says, we have cooperation, except that now he's saying, and I just want to say as a member of the committee, leader of the Green Party, it is absolutely untrue to say the NDP were unfair or inflexible and were not willing to work well with others. The NDP worked well with others on that committee. And believe it or not, so did the Conservatives, so did the Bloc, but even the 4 Liberals who filed their own dissent from our recommendation of the majority that we should move to proportional representation, even the 4 Liberals in their dissent could not bring themselves to endorse preferential or ranked ballot because all the evidence was against it. So Justin Trudeau's problem is he says he liked ranked ballot, he wanted ranked ballot, and unfortunately, now here's what he tries to say, but the NDP wouldn't listen. No, nobody, even the 4 Liberals you picked to be on the committee, Justin, even they could not endorse the system you wanted because it's the only system on the evidence that gives more distorted results than first past the post. So now he's also saying that in the interest of national unity, we can't have proportional representation. I'm sure you've all seen the unity crisis that has plagued New Zealand since they grasped mixed member proportional. The only country on earth where the Indigenous members of the House of Commons in New Zealand exactly equal the proportion of Indigenous people across New Zealand. Where voter turnout goes up, where representation of women goes up, and in any fair system where you have either mixed member proportional or single transferable vote, extremist parties do not rise to the fore. So before I sit down the last of Justin Trudeau's more ridiculous red herrings of the last few days, we might have a party led by Kelly Leitch. Newsflash, she's currently running for leader of the Conservative Party of Canada. There's no reason to think that she or Kevin O'Leary might not win. And if you want to make sure they're not a prime minister with a majority of the seats, with 100% of the power, with less than public support, for God's sake, get rid of first past the post while we still have the chance. So I'm so grateful to all of you for coming out today. This issue matters to the heart of democracy, but more than that, it matters that prime ministers keep their promises. It matters when they appeal to something that was in the platforms that 62% of Canadians voted for. We believed you, Justin. I know when you made that promise, I'm going to say this out loud, I know when you made that promise, you intended to keep it. It's not too late to admit that you made a mistake. You can fix this, we can fix this, Parliament can fix this, and Canadians must not stop saying to the top of our voices as loudly as we can, Justin Trudeau, keep your promise.